Hi there, this is Åsa with a new process video. And today I've been digging deep in my stash of patterned paper, and I have found this one from Prima. These called printables came out a couple of years ago, and they are printed black and white onto watercolor paper, and they were made for people to color them in any color they wanted, instead of just printing them in color. And I bought a couple of them, and I thought they were super pretty, and they don't fit my style at all, really. So I've been keeping them in my stash, and I think that I've even just used one as a watercolor paper and not cared about the print at all. This floral border that I'll be using today is really pretty, and I thought that I could make something fun out of it with some gelatos. So I just went ahead with a piece of plastic packaging there, and I will be smudging gelato color all over this piece, and not caring a lot about the pattern, just making a mess, a total mess. And then I will later come back and add even more color. These kind of papers, I don't buy those anymore. Not that there are a lot of this kind of papers, but I try not to buy papers that are hard to cut in. This paper, for example, it would have been totally impossible to cut it and use just a part of this paper. So I pretty much try to buy papers that are more cuttable, or they are more they have the same pattern all over the paper. So I'm very happy that fashion has been towards those kind of papers for quite a long time now, and I hope that the papers with these kind of border treatments will not be as popular in the future as well, because it gives me a hard time. I just showed the branding strip there where it said printables, and it's from Prima. Now I've brought out the photos that I'll be using for this page, and it's 3 photos from summer of I think it was summer of 11, and it was the first summer in our house. We bought the house in the summer before that, but we moved in October in 2010. So 2011 was the first summer that we actually got to live in the house, and we experienced the whole spring and all the flowers, and then everything turned green, and it was a very kind of magical time, because we didn't know what to expect in the different flower beds and everything, and everything was new to us. So I want to kind of remember that feeling together with these photos of my hubby and daughter watering some kind of plants in one of the flower beds. And then it also has a photo right next to it, like almost a panorama effect of the rest of the garden. So I will be piecing these together, pretending they are one big photo, and I think I got away with that quite easily here. The paper has a border, so I try to fit these photos within that border, and it took a couple of tries and some cropping, and eventually I managed to fit the piece inside the frame, leaving almost the same kind of distance all around the photo block. But I thought that frame was a bit too obvious on the page, so I decided to put some gesso on top of it, just to tone down the black border. And I'm using the middle of the page as a palette there, and just playing around with a little bit more green to accent the lawn in the photos. So most of that beautiful mid piece there will be covered up with the photo block. Then I decided that that black frame wasn't as bad, so I decided to draw it with a pen line to get it back on the page. This is a creative process when you just think that you have done wrong, so you need to get the whole effect back after a while. And now I want to add something to the page, some embellishing, and just something that will pop on the page. And I'm looking through the ephemera pack from Open Book to see if I can find a couple of items there for layering and accent. And there are so much flowers going on there that I thought it might become too much with the floral border and the photo, which also has flowers. So my first plan was to use that frame, but it will go back in the folder again. Then I decide that it's too much flowers anyway, so I decide to cut off a small sliver of the page on each side to be able to mount the whole page on a white piece of paper. And since the paper is quite sturdy but buckling a bit from the water colors that I've added, I will be using my glue gun to adhere those together. That corner there where the photo has a gap, I'll be filling that up with a doily, just an ordinary white doily. I think it's one of those 6-inch doilies that I bought in Stockholm. And I will also adhere the photo with hot glue, just since I had the glue gun out, and it is a really nice tool. So now there's no return. The photo is stuck on the page, and the page is stuck on a white piece of cardstock. I bought these huge glittery golden words in Stockholm, and I wanted to use it on this page. So I'll spell hello, and later I will add a first spring in much smaller alphas. So this will be the title of my page. Right now it's about that season that you can see in the photos. It's about that season right now here in Sweden, and we have been cutting the lawn, mowing the lawn a couple of times already, and it's getting green. All the trees have their leaves now, and the fruit trees are blooming, and it's really pretty here. And this coming weekend on Sunday, May 31st, it's Mother's Day here in Sweden, and we are going to a nursery garden to buy our new strawberry plants, and also some flowers for the pots in the garden, and I'm really looking forward to that. We don't have any huge planting plans for this summer and spring, but those annuals that we want to have in the pots, it's just about time to get those now. I think that the risk of having frost is over now. Hopefully. Oh, now I regret I said that. That will come back to bite me, but I think it's risk-free. Hopefully it is. So we'll be buying some plants and also sowing some sunflower seeds this coming weekend, and I really look forward to that, because it gives a finishing touch to the garden when we get the flower pots and the plants ready. We have the whole kitchen or dining room window filled with peppers and tomato plants, and those hopefully they can go out in the patio this weekend as well, but they will be I will have to bring them in and out all the time, a couple of more weeks, I think. Now I have found a rather cute pink font there, kind of, I think it's from Simple Stories, but it could also be My Mind's Eye. I have those from 2 different brands, and I'm spelling the title, First Spring, and the year, and also I'm using a couple of those sentiments and words that came with the pack there. And I have added a couple of gold foil flowers just to carry the gold a bit further on the page. And this is the finished layout. Thank you so much for watching. Come back soon. Take care. This is Åsa. Bye.